Now, shortly after that standoff, Duluth's mayor and police held a press conference discussing the recent violent crimes taking place here in Duluth.
Northern News Now's Leslie Krebs was at that press conference and shares what leaders are saying needs to happen to help reduce crime in the city.
Duluth remains a safe city.
Duluth Mayor Roger Reiner says despite the recent violence in Duluth, the city is still seeing less violent acts compared to years past, with this year seeing 14 gun-related incidents compared to last year's 17 at this time.
I think it's really important that we distinguish between emotions, perception, and what the trends and data actually tell us.
Mayor Reiner followed that by saying maintaining a safe community isn't just the responsibility of police.
Public safety is a community responsibility.
Public safety has been top of mind after 3 shootings in the span of 2 weeks. According to Duluth police, juveniles are behind all 3, including in Canal Park. Deputy Chief Ryan Morris understands the public wants details on the cases, but says they have to protect the investigations.
Releasing certain information too soon can be detrimental to the integrity of an investigation and the successful outcome of these cases.
There's been a juvenile connection. And so to parents in our community, to responsible adults in our community, you got to be asking yourself, where are your kids?
Duluth Police says the resource officers who primarily work with youth during the school year will also help patrol too.
Our school resource officers that are obviously not working in the schools are now reassigned to bike patrols. They're down in the canal all summer.
Working together as community partners to protect our streets.
Mayor Reiner urges community members to call 911, no matter how small an incident may seem, as it's the only way for information to be added to the system and for the correct response team to be notified.